Hey, everybody. We are here for a new episode of Five for Talking. Shout out to the hockey fans. I'm here with Caps, the captain of the show, and the Leafs are in the playoffs. Prepare to be sad. Okay, so we're going to do a tier list breaking down the playoffs round by round. We're doing it different. This is the first time we've ever done it this way. It's more like a bracket. So I will open up tier list land and we will go through it. So I've already taken out all the teams that are not in the playoffs and I put them in order of who they're facing in the first round, and we will go through it as such. So we are starting off with the elephant in the room.
No comment.
Do you want me to do this?
Yes. But like before you even go on, regardless of who you pick, I probably should have said this in the beginning. I already have a finals in mind of who
Hmm.
I think will make it to the finals. So, and they don't involve these two teams.
Okay, so that's fair.
So it
So
doesn't
this is
really
how I
matter.
have it, and I genuinely believe it.
Sure.
I
You want
think
to
this
go?
is the year.
Yeah, no comment.
Not to win the cup, to beat Boston, okay? That's our cup.
No
That's
comment.
for Leaf fans,
Preparing,
that's the
I'm
cup.
preparing myself for some hurt.
Okay, so next matchup.
I will say this. I do see them losing game one. However, I do see them being overly physical with Boston, and that kind of will turn around. That'll be like the turnaround series, and to me, this will probably go the distance. But anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Okay. That's good. I accept that. All right, you go for this one. Florida and Tampa Bay.
This series is very intriguing. There's a few other series that are like monster series. This is one of them, and this will also, to me, will be a dogfight and a half. Um, Ultimately, um, I think Florida will pull through. I see Florida beating Tampa, but to me, this will go the distance. Um, and it all depends on the play of Vasilevsky. To me, that's the it thing.
I'm in a
That
similar boat, but I sway the other way where I think it's going to depend on Bobrovsky. If he shows up, Florida will win this series. If he plays shitty, Tampa Bay is going to smoke them. Um,
yeah, great take.
because I think Vasilevsky even at medium is as good as like top tier Bobrovsky. Anyways, I agree. I think Florida, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Vegas, and Colorado, Winnipeg are going to be the three series to watch in the first round. Because as much as I think Toronto versus Boston is a great rivalry and stuff, I just feel like the two teams they have this year, the Leafs are the Leafs, and Boston is not the same Boston, right? Even though they're like top of the league, they're not going to be like, oh, you got to watch this Boston team, right?
Mhm.
Um, I don't think we have to even talk about this one.
Yeah, I saw some videos out there about oh man, like the New York Islanders, like they went on a tear. Like these two teams went on a tear in the last maybe 10 games, right?
Well, that
They were
Carolina was missing so many players for the whole
yeah.
season.
These two teams were the hottest teams down the stretch. I mean, the New York Islanders put themselves in a position where they just made the playoffs. They were pretty much out of it, like in the last maybe 15 games. But Sorokin is pretty much, you know, they got to see what's happening with him. Like if he becomes the goalie that he was last year, it seems as though Patrick was instilled a system that pretty much everybody is bought in. Um, it would have been very cool if the Islanders won and the next series the Rangers won. It would be New York versus New York. But you know what? I am going with Carolina to come out of this matchup.
I think there's a chance we might be going in the same direction. We have not talked about this previous to the show at
We
all.
haven't. We have not.
Um, so somehow I even actually accidentally put all of these in order perfectly of how the next round will play out. I didn't even
Mhm.
realize that. Um, so this was the one for me. So you were talking about the Islanders in the videos you saw. I watched a bunch of stuff, and a lot of people were praising the Islanders, but then immediately when they got to like what they thought would happen, they're like Carolina's going to smoke them. And I was like, so why do we spend 3 minutes listening to you talk about how good the Islanders are if your outcome was just Carolina's going to smoke them?
Yeah. Um, Yeah, I mean, I don't know if necessarily they smoke them, but yeah, I really don't see a scenario where the Islanders
Yeah.
um, beat them, and I agree with this one as well. I mean, Washington's a good team. Um, Unfortunately, they've had more goals scored on them than actually them scoring goals, and Ovechkin tearing it up in the last maybe 20 games. Um, you know, it, I mean, anything can happen if healthy, but honestly, I just see the Rangers just
Yeah.
pulling through in this one.
This is the one thing we did talk about right before we started filming is that I saw multiple videos where people expect the Capitals to upset the Rangers.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't see it.
I just don't see that.
Maybe they win one game. I'm gonna say that's my guess. Washington wins one game.
Yeah.
Dallas versus
Okay,
Vegas. This is the big
this
one, I think.
is a big one. You know, you got the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Vegas Golden Knights, going against a very, very good Dallas team. Now, on paper, the Vegas Golden Knights are a monster team. However, I just don't think they've had enough time to develop some chemistry because the whole team has not played together at all. I just like Mark Stone. I think believe he's coming back for Game One. Aiden Hill has not been very good in the last maybe latter half of the season. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been
Neither
on and off
has
injured.
Thompson.
I
Neither
mean,
has Thompson.
yeah, with the addition of Thomas Hurdle and Hannafin, I just as strong as they are, I'm sorry, I'm going to go with Dallas on this one because I just think Dallas has had enough time to play and develop that chemistry. Um, and I just yeah, that's how I feel on this one. So I don't know how you feel. That's my pick.
I okay, of all the things here where I want to be like, this is the one, I I I don't think Vegas beats them, but I think this is the one series, maybe Boston, maybe Florida, Tampa Bay, where the two teams beat the crap out of each other so hard that it has a repercussion later on in the playoffs. Like I feel like Vegas is not going down easy, but Dallas is going to win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? Because like I don't see the Capitals giving the Rangers like a huge issue, right? But I see Vegas like really not letting Dallas go for it. So this is I'm gonna go first on this one because I have a couple here where we're gonna be in questionable land. I think
Mhm.
LA upsets the Oilers.
I don't see
I
that.
think I think they're so two-way. They have four complete lines. They have a decent defensive core. They have Cam Talbot's gonna stand on his head against his former team.
Hmm.
Um, I just for me, in my opinion, I see it. I see it. Maybe it goes 7 games, but LA beats the crap out of them. And if Edmonton does win, they're going to be injured.
This is our first disagreement. I don't see that. I see Edmonton pulling through, and the only reason being LA has been up and down all year. And even towards the end, they were still iffy. Um, Edmonton, ever since the coaching change, has been a monster team. However, I will give you this because either way, none of those teams make it to the finals in my eyes.
No, I'll give you this
It,
because I
it
still
doesn't
think
matter to me. Those two teams,
yeah,
none
no,
of
it's
those
fair
teams make
because
it to the
I
final.
said 7 games. So I think your
I
argument
that I
is
agree with you.
fair. I think
That
your
I agree
argument
with
is
you with the
fair.
distance. Yeah.
You want another one? I call an upset right here. I say Nashville beats Vancouver.
I am going to agree with you on this one.
I think that I think Vancouver is not ready for the playoffs.
I think they are good. I think they were a very good um, season team. I think they were very good in the season.
Their flaws came out after the All-Star break, though.
Yeah, I mean, Demko came back and he's playing great, but honestly, I don't think they're ready just yet. And we might have another disagreement here.
You know what? I'm gonna allow you to pick this one because I'm 50-50, completely 50-50.
I am 50-50 as well. Here's where I give Winnipeg, the Winnipeg Jets, the edge.
Goalie?
Hellebuck.
Yeah, but I know no, the
Georgiev,
backup goalie's good too. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Georgiev has, I mean, he's a man. As good as that team is, I have more belief in Hellebuck a lot more than Georgiev in this
Here's the thing.
situation.
Here's the thing. I agree with you. I do think though Colorado's defensive lineup is far better than Winnipeg. So I think that kind of balances out. Um, I think it's going to be the biggest thing is does Landeskog come back?
He does
Because
not.
people are okay. Because a lot of people are saying he's coming back.
He's not.
Okay,
Uh,
then
it
we're
just
gonna
was
do that.
released the other day that he's nowhere close.
Okay, so we're gonna do this.
But once again, I that's a 50-50. That is a monster, another monster series.
You want me to tell you something? The
Yeah,
outcome of this round does not affect the finals for me.
same with me.
Okay, so then it makes no difference.
Yeah,
Let's start here. I don't think we. I personally think this is the year where the Leafs make it to the conference finals and lose still, but I'm 100% willing to take Florida because Florida's my team right now. I'm loving Florida.
I
I
don't like
love the way
Florida,
they're
but
built.
I hate Florida, but no, I'm just kidding. I agree with this.
I
I
love the way Florida's built.
they're just too good for me. They're just too good.
Yeah, and I think these two series that was here are rough enough that they're both going to be like
They're going to
a
be
little
messed
bit.
up.
Yeah.
They're going to be messed up.
Okay. Here's where I think we're going to have a disagreement. I'll say a team, and you either tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
Carolina.
I agree.
Okay. I think the Rangers, number one, got the President's Trophy curse. Number two, I as much as I like them and we were high on them all season, I don't think they're a cup winning team. Especially the way Shesterkin is that's who it is, right? Yeah. Shesterkin has been playing. He's been really iffy. He went from top goalie in the league for 2 years to I don't know if he's if he's a good a cup winner.
I just feel as though Carolina's depth and the way they play is more suited for the playoffs. I don't as good as the Rangers are. I just don't think they have what it takes to go far in the playoffs.
And if you go advanced metrics, they have the second best possible goal scoring line in the NHL, which consists of none of their top three players. No Teravainen, no Shevchenko, no or Shevchenko, Svechenkov, and
Mm-hmm.
no Aho. It's
Yeah,
Nekis and two other guys. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
yeah, yeah. You want
Um,
to take that one? Take this one.
yeah, Dallas. The hell?
So far, so good.
Winnipeg. The
So
hell?
far, so good.
All right. I don't even have anything to say there. I genuinely believe this. I'm not saying this to be just mean, okay? I think this is the moment when Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl realize this is not it, and one of them is gonna leave.
I
They're
mean, I don't
such a
want to go.
poorly
I
built
don't want to go
team.
into details in terms of what their contracts are. Like, I don't know how
Yes,
what's I
yes,
don't.
yes, yes.
But I can see that. I I I mean, the cap goes up 4 mil next year. I think they make some adjustments. It's possible that they have one more run,
This is
but
not that team though.
it's I just don't see it happening because I just think that these other teams are just better.
Yeah. I also think their goaltending is very, very wishy-washy. Um,
Yes,
so Carolina versus Florida. I think these two series here are both absolutely amazing.
they're great. I think this is the furthest, maybe. No, I think Edmonton got this far a few years back, but this will be interesting, and it'll be interesting to see what you pick because I have
Okay, do you want me to say the two teams and then you tell me your two teams?
yes,
Carolina and Dallas.
no, Florida, Dallas.
I think Carolina wins the cup this year.
I think Dallas does.
Okay, I'm willing to accept Florida versus Dallas under the circumstance that we agree that Florida beats Dallas because I don't think Dallas wins the cup. I think Dallas Cinderella story is a great playoff run to the finals and then gets absolutely beat down in the finals by either Carolina or Florida.
I mean, my finals was Florida versus Dallas, but you know, I mean,
Are you willing to okay, are you willing to at least admit because we're only picking finals. We'll just verbally talk about this part.
sure,
Are we willing to admit that Florida has a good chance to beat Dallas? It's not going to
yeah,
be
of
like
course.
Dallas is just going to win the cup.
Oh, of course, of
Okay.
course.
Because
I wasn't like. I mean, this is. Let me say right off the bat, this playoff series, all these rounds, it's probably the toughest in in all the playoffs I've seen. Like this is legit tough. Remember a few years back, the East was overwhelmingly more stronger than the West. To me, it's evened out a little bit. Like the
it
West is
has it
like
has,
it's
but I think the top 4 in the East are still better than even the best team in the West.
I
Carolina,
don't
Carolina, Florida, New York, and wait, what did I
I don't
just
see that. I really don't see that. I mean, look at
who's and
last year.
Boston?
Vegas won.
Yeah, Vegas did win, but there was a lot of circumstantial things going on leading up to said victory,
Which
including
yeah played a
cheating.
part. It does play a part. I mean, if you're looking at it like from a standpoint where everyone's healthy, I mean, you could make a point that the East is a bit stronger. But honestly, this kind of
I
evened
think
out a
no,
lot more.
I think as an entire conference, the West is far more even than the East. But I think the East is the top 4 teams of the East are so good that it's pretty crazy. This is the thing. I think so. I'm okay with Carolina, Florida. I mean, Florida, Dallas,
Dallas.
because I think those I would pick Dallas anyways, and I do think Florida is good enough to get there. Okay, no questions asked. That's non-negotiable. For me, my pick, verbally, I'm saying it out loud for the Cup is Carolina. Your pick is Dallas, but I can see this finals happening. But if should this finals happen, I still think the East wins the Cup.
Yeah, hey, like anything happens, it's a pick. I can't tell the future. This is what I think might happen.
No, I think this is our first
Your
disagreement,
guess,
really.
your prediction is I can't argue with that because it's a great prediction. Any all these teams, with the exception of a couple, are have a chance to win this cup, and you know it's anything can happen. It's going to be a cool playoff series, and I wouldn't be surprised if you know something else happens other than our predictions because that's the great thing of watching the playoffs. I will say this: there are some matchups that are going to be very entertaining to watch, and that Florida versus Tampa matchup is going to be wild. I
Like I
see
said,
it being dirty.
the Florida series, the Colorado series, and the Dallas series in the first round are going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, it would be crazy to see if Vegas can like do what they did last year and just all of a sudden come together that quickly and just go for a serious run. Um, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I really don't have much because
Yeah. We're gonna do another episode. It'll be short. It's gonna come later in the week. It'll be about the expansion or the moving of teams from Phoenix. So thank you for watching. Let us know who you think will win the cup in the comments, and have a good day.